If she's had a history of casual relationships, how do you know if she's ready to commit? Can she ever truly be a loyal girlfriend or wife? Well, many of you are saying no way, and some of you are right. However, being ready for monogamy isn't just about her past. It's actually about one surprising factor. If you're new to my channel, my name is Anna Jorgensen. I help good men like you decode women so you can find, attract, and keep your keeper. Welcome back to Just the Tip. Okay, so what do the studies and biology tell us about the long-term effects of promiscuity? And how can you tell if she's relationship ready or a big risk? In this video, we're going to explore the number one risk for a woman who's had numerous past partners, if behavioral change is actually possible, the number one sign she's ready for one man, and all her heart and the rest of her are all yours, and the number one risk a man with numerous past partner faces. Disclaimer, this video isn't about judgment, it's about the facts. So the question is, if she was once promiscuous, will she always be? The bottom line, some women will change and some won't. Reality land. The more previous encounters she's had, the more risks there are. Even though women are encouraged to embrace their female sexual liberation and sexual empowerment, biology doesn't care. Human brains create neural pathways based on thoughts, beliefs, actions, and outcomes. Key point, everything we do codes in our noggins. To simplify the science, if you have developed the habit of getting up every morning and going to the gym, well, your brain becomes coded to automatically help you get to the gym every day. If a woman has a pattern or a habit of casual encounters, that's encoded in her psyche. Question, can you override your psyche? Answer, assuming you don't have a mental health issue or brain injury that creates a wiring issue, yes, you can. Question, can a woman override her psyche? Answer, sometimes, but yes, there are conditions for success. We're going to talk about that more in a minute. And by the way, this applies to men as well. But before we get into the conditions for success, let's look at what studies tell us about promiscuity when it comes to long-term intimate relationships. Okay, brain chemicals like dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin all play a role in our experiences and our actions, including those related to physical intimacy. Now, according to some studies, promiscuity can trigger different patterns in these neurotransmitters, affecting how women and men seek, experience, and bond with lovers. Now you're saying, okay, Anna, but what does this mean? Well, I'm going to tell you. Studies link promiscuity with certain challenges in long-term relationships, such as lower relationship satisfaction, increased risk of infidelity, and challenges in building trust. One of the studies says having multiple premarital sex partners is negatively associated with marital quality and stability. In layman's terms, for both men and women, the higher the number of past partners they got physical with, the less satisfied they'll be in marriage. But which came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, technically the rooster came first, but when we are talking about promiscuity and dissatisfaction, it could be both. People who are easily dissatisfied may be naturally drawn to variety, and people who are drawn to variety may be more easily dissatisfied in relationships. The study also says that recent partners predict lower odds of marriage, but not lifetime non-marital sex partners. Again, simplified, this means that you're less likely to get married while you're still testing the ice cream flavors than if you have already tried them all and you now know which one is your favorite. In other words, if you've been there, done that, and now are holding out for one special flavor, aka romantic partner. Now, if she's still testing ice cream flavors, she may not be ready for one favorite flavor. She hasn't actively worked on rewiring those pathways. Rewiring neurobiology is like upgrading the software of the brain. It takes time and intentional effort. Key point, if she has not consciously worked on changing her conditioning or naturally grown out of it with time because her goals and maybe even her values have changed, the effects of her conditioning, aka promiscuity, won't automatically change just because you show up and you are a good guy. Now, to be fair, it works the same way with men. Until a man is truly ready to settle down and has actively turned down opportunities for other flavors, his wiring won't start to change. So no matter what created promiscuity, the more sexual partners someone has had or continues to have, the more ingrained that pattern of behavior is. It can take huge effort to stop eating donuts every day instead of going to the gym, or stop watching adult content hours every night instead of studying or finding a better job, or any other habit. After a while, a pattern becomes part of your personality and eventually your self-identity, consciously or not, which requires even more time and intentional effort to change if you want to. Key point: habits that don't serve you can start as a cope, often because you feel something is missing in your life or in yourself, whether it's excessive eating, visiting the Palm Sisters, or casual flings. Key point: you can't change her. Just like she can't change your eating habits or your other habits, you can't change her pattern of casual relationships. And just like if you don't think of your habits as being negative, she may not think about her habits as being negative for her. Sometimes a significant event sparks a desire to change, like a strong espresso, jolting you into action. Other times it brews slowly, like a long session of yerba mate, until one day you wake up determined to be a different kind of man or person. This can happen to a woman as well, but just like it is for you, she must be ready and willing to change. And key point, she must do it for herself because she genuinely wants a different kind of life. Now remember, even if she wants to change, like any other ingrained habit, it takes conscious effort, consistency, time, and the desire to identify as a different kind of person. Key point, whenever we're trying to redirect those ingrained pathways, there is often self-sabotage and setbacks before success. This ties into the number one risk for men with casual dating habits, which is coming up right after I share the number one sign to know if she's fully embodied a new identity. Now, just before I reveal that, if you have found value in this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing. And thank you so much if you already have. Okay, right. A woman might be ready for one man if she has given up her past casual dating habits long enough to be able to say no to immediate physical intimacy with you, to find out if you have relationship potential based on beliefs, values, and goals. Key point, if she is ready for a relationship, the more men she's been with, especially recently, the longer she may need to trust herself to make the right decision in the selection process and to know you trust her value. Of course, not every woman who feels an amazing connection with you and sleeps with you early on is a risk. Maybe you are that special guy, which brings us to the biggest risk for promiscuous women and men. Society does judge. So the biggest risk for a woman with a high body count in terms of long-term love is feeling worthy of being loved by a good man. For the same reason, the biggest risk for a man with a high body count in terms of long-term love is finding a woman he deems worthy of his love. Key point, even as a man, if you are looking for long-term love, it's not in your best interest to have sex right away. I know you don't like me for that one. A man who has not been good at getting women into bed has a better chance of attracting an emotionally healthy woman than a player does. What? Wait. Before you click away, let me explain. Men who have gotten lucky with a lot of women know many of them are often exciting to be with, but also can be emotionally damaged drama queens. Key point, if she's sexy and the spark is strong, men often catch feelings. When you're good at picking up emotionally unavailable, hard to handle women, you may develop the attitude that all women are like that. If that has been your reality, You may be jaded, but wait, there's more. A woman who moves quickly into physical intimacy with bad boys or players who use her, cheat on her, or treat her poorly may assume all men are like that because that's her reality. And that's not even the worst of it. When you're good at picking up women who rush into physical intimacy, you may start to think that the women with entry requirements who don't, or who reject you because you're moving too fast, are entitled princesses. You may react poorly and turn them off, even though they may actually be keepers. Whew. Then you go back to the easy ones and repeat the brutal cycle. Ouch. Now, while there isn't a specific length of time for how long she should hold out, watch for signs that she's actually considering you as a long-term partner. If she focuses on building a meaningful connection and emotional intimacy and engaging in non-sexual activities like hiking or cooking or taking a class together, that's good. That's actually good. If she asks questions that reveal your beliefs, values, and long-term goals, not just if you feel like Netflix and chill Friday night, that's also good. Some people who enjoy ongoing variety are not meant for long-term or monogamous relationships. And while neurobiology does play a role in shaping our behavior, it's not the whole story. Now, if you prefer casual encounters, then go for women who are more liberal about enjoying their sexuality. I am not judging here. However, if you want a long-term intimate relationship, don't discount a woman if she's not becoming physical right away in order to be able to get to know you. What matters most is understanding your own values and finding the right woman with compatible beliefs, values, and goals. Now remember, it's not about avoiding experiences because of what I say or what others think, but about choosing the ones that are right for you. Now, if you tend to self-sabotage in any area of your life, you may want to talk to a therapist, QR code, and you'll also want to watch my video on signs she's promiscuous. All right, so did you have any aha moments watching this video? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments. I love reading about your experiences. Thanks so much for being here and watching to the end. That really helps my channel. Big hug. God bless. Yes, I've had coffee.